Up first, we've got the 250 GTO, and this car made famous in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We're going to take it through paces here in Black County. Acceleration, probably what we'd expect from a car this era, but the real test will come as we start to get into the handling compared to the other cars. Coming in a little squirrely compared to what we're used to. Again, sticking to normal base settings. We don't apply any kind of tweaks or anything to the car. A little loose in the rear. You'll see slides around, definitely surging as we accelerate and brake. And sliding like here in this corner, losing grip. Again here you see the back kind of let loose, but overall a pretty fun and satisfying car to drive. You have to be prepared. Like here, almost lost it in the wall, but continuing on, just a lot of fun for what it is. Similar to most of the sports cars of that era, early Corvette or some of the muscle cars, even from back then. Slow to accelerate, but does have some power. And braking not as quick. Again, lack of ABS, so it's slow. Again, almost losing it there, and then almost hitting the wall coming under the rocks there. Coming up into the chicane, losing it in the back, and then we finally use the car into the guardrail. I think in a normal incident, if this were a real car, we probably would have destroyed it. Overly cautious. The turn radius is not real tight on this car, but again, coming through, you can see that we're approaching 3 minutes and about 34 seconds. So moving on to the 330, another earlier car in the Ferrari lineup. Accelerates a lot faster. You definitely notice it. Coming into the first big turn here, check the brakes. Definitely a different feel. More what we're used to. Still a little loose, but again, we haven't adjusted any suspension settings or anything really in the car. Then moving through the terrain here, much more enjoyable to drive. Winding through, I think, out of the two, definitely would be a fun car to own. Loose there, but this is again, these laps were no practice. One lap right out of the pits, no redos, so you're getting what I got for the first drive on each car. You'll see that the handling generally has been quite a bit better, not as squirrely, much more firm on the road. And then coming into the tight turns at the end here, again coming up is where we, right here is where we lost the other car. And same thing here. You can see we hit the curb pretty hard there. And then again, here probably did some damage. And we're just gonna drive this out and complete. However, you can see speed-wise, much faster, almost a minute, about 50 seconds faster on this car versus the 250. So now the GTO, we're getting into the 80s now. I think this is the car made famous on Magnum PI. Predecessor to the F40. Coming in, not an easy car to take through this like the previous two. A little bit harder to drive. So a little more anticipation required. You can see the back letting loose there. Serving quite a bit. Coming around straight, this is where we're going to get a lot of speed build up. So we another straight here, and we come into the hill climb. Again, let's loose there. It seems to carry the momentum a lot more through the turns. I'm sure we could tune out, but again, we're running all these on the base, just whatever the base setups are. Not as smooth as the last car, but definitely not as squirrely as the 250. We actually made it around that turn. And this is where we lost the last two cars, and we lost that one too. I think the lesson here is don't treat it like a GT3 and nurture it through a little bit more. Not a good turning radius with any kind of speed. But we carry it through. You can see it's a little bit slower than the last car, but still much faster than the 250. So now we've got the infamous F40. This one, I have several models of this floating around, but have been anticipating this drive. Again, this little adventure through Ferrari is first. I'm not a Ferrari aficionado. A little loose. A lot loose compared to the last couple of cars. Let's see. Trying to kind of get my bearings here, braking and turning, and what the car will allow me to do. Again, if we had more than one lap get it dialed in, but again, this test is really about first impression. Real wide on that turn. And we just build speed, but you can see every little bit, you know, as we're accelerating and trying to turn, the back just wants to swing out. The momentum just wants to carry through and destabilize the car. But the cool part is, you know, we haven't really lost the car, you know, other than this turn coming up is where we've lost the cars through these chicanes. Almost lose it there. And this one we actually get good braking on. Bad on execution, but you know, the brakes did work as we would probably expect them to, a little bit more than what we've had. So I think as we progress, we're seeing where technology, you know, in the different cars is definitely giving us some advantages. Next car is another F40. This is a little bit more performance oriented. Coming into our first turn, our first big brake check. We really take this well. Car's a lot more stiff. And is holding grip quite a bit better. Not nearly the loose feeling we've had in the last, you know, 4 cars. So this being the F40 Stage 3. And this downhill acceleration, winding. And you don't see the car really losing it anywhere. Basically, we can put it where we want it. It feels quite a bit faster to drive. And here we're going to start the hill climb as we approach the messy chicanes that we've been struggling with. Full out right there. We don't even have a problem. Coming into the first turn, lose it a little bit there, a little too fast. But again, easy to maintain control. Here, yeah, a little hard, but much like the last one, we got through it. I think if we did another lap or two, we'd start to know our braking points and, you know, how this car would take them a lot better. You see that last turn, nice and tight, just blow right through it. And about 10 seconds faster than the F40. Now we've got the LaFerrari. This I think is a 90s car, I think 96. And this is a much, much different feeling. more of what we'd expect from a supercar, early supercar. But light, it's floating quite a bit as we come through here. You see, clip the guardrail there. I think we would, each lap gain a little bit, but oddly, each car is significantly different. It's, again, a struggle on that one. Its speed. I'd say the handling, again, lots of problems with this car. It's got four rail hits there. And make it 5. And then the 458 GT. This should be more what we're used to racing. As we come into this first corner and start braking. And nice and tight through the turns. We aren't losing the car anywhere. And accelerating really quick. Definitely a fun one to drive. Flying through the downhill here. Car's not drifting. But we do lose it right there. But again, easy to control. If I did this in a Lamborghini, I probably would have lost the entire car. Continuing on the downhill. And that little, that was probably driver error, but other than that, real smooth as we come, up the hill climb here. Approaching the chicanes. This little hill into the turn where we've lost the last few. And that was really solid. I would expect this, again, another nice tight turn. Then we come around into the final straight to the finish. And you can see our lap time's going to be the fastest yet at about 2:50. So the 458 Italia, or the consumer version of the car. I would expect this one, if we drive it like a GT3, we're going to have problems, but let's see how we do. Yeah, we're already kind of sliding all over. Traction here. Wide turns. And the car is definitely surging as we brake and as we accelerate. You can see the front drop down and then ride to the back. Not not as bad, not as loose, but that weight distribution is definitely a factor, I think, with momentum. And you see the car bouncing quite a bit. That weight just wants to carry the car and, keep it moving in the kind of the wrong direction sometimes. It's interesting going from car to car, because what we're seeing is, some cars are better, some cars are worse, and I think that goes between what's set up for competition and what's set up for consumer driving. So up the hill climb here. See how we do at speed going through here. Trying to keep it, all the way down. So I handled that pretty good. Let's see how it handles this braking zone. Pretty tight. But we let it through. And then here. Definitely like that. So what we're trying to do, through all this is, drive each car kind of the same, to have it, obviously you can change your driving style for each car, and we would do that over several laps, but driving it off, one lap and kind of sorting it out, we can kind of get a feel for, see what each car's doing, naturally. But not a bad time, 2:55. So here's the 458. This is the stage 3, 458. Accelerating through to the first turn. Good acceleration. Pretty good braking. So we almost stopped the car there. Brakes were so braking a little early. Good handling. This one's somewhere between the last two. So the 458 Italia and the stage 3 and the GT. So this one, this is somewhere in between those. Better handling for sure, decent acceleration, but definitely not probably more of a daily driver than a competition car. And the downhill. We start the uphill, and we take this next corner at speed. All out through here. No problem. So we come into the kind of back-to-back chicanes. And this is the tough one here, coming down the hill. Not an issue. And pretty good. The other thing to point out, we're not doing this on a wheel. This is all PS5 Pro controller configuration. So time-wise, the pretty good 2:45. So now we're moving into the 48 GT3. This is definitely this is a car we have driven before, the Ferrari Challenge. Great grip, great handling. See, the car is not rocking. But The weight's pretty low and even. Through the downhill. Let's see, our line is tighter. Clip the rail there, anticipating drift, and that's the other thing I'm learning with this is, I start to anticipate drift and then I don't have any. I actually turned into the guardrail. Now coming uphill. Through here, all out. And then we got the two chicanes, the first one. This little hill into the second one. No issues. Good driver error though on my entry. Blowing through, and then coming out through the final straight here. We're looking at about a 245. So now the 48 GTB. Again, a smaller daily driver compared to the last one, so I'm going to expect a little squirreliness in the car and a little bit of surging. Accelerate. Interesting thing is, even though these cars aren't set up for it, they aren't as we aren't losing the back end as much as we were in the first 4 cars. I say that, and then I lose the back end. But I think that's really just a matter of braking and steering and driver error more than anything. Getting used to the car. But then driving through, continuing on the second phase of the downhill. And now we start the hill climb. Come through here all out. Let's see if the car handles that. You see it did drift, did kind of go wide, but still handled it. And then coming through this first chicane, not a problem. And then we're coming into the second one here, and lose the car early into the rail. This third one, use it again. And the final turn, we lose it. At this point, the car is toast. So finish it off, but still not a bad time. About 250 on that one. The FXX here is really a performance car. And so far it feels the most, probably the most attached, let's say, to the road. See, it has the active arrow. So accelerate or decelerate. The wing coming up in the back. Damping the back. A little wide, but we're carrying quite a bit, more speed. But still, we aren't really losing the car anywhere. Hill climb, we'll go all out through here. Issue. Get into this first turn. No problems. No issues here either. I think what we really would need to do on some of those older cars is take that turn and not really taking it as wide as I should. My apex point is quite a bit off. It's like a totally blind turn. But our fastest time yet. This is the 812 Superfast. Last time was 2:35, so we knocked about 10 seconds off. We'll see how this one plays out. Already a little loose. A lot of weight in the rear of the car here that's really pulling us around. And it's quite a bit higher weight-wise, so it's got carries a lot of momentum. Come through this kind of spiraling downhill. This is where we saw the most kind of fishtailing of the rear, lose the rear quite a bit. And some of the earlier cars or some of the more daily driver style cars. All out through here. As we start the hill climb, we're going to go all out through this turn. Let's see how wide it swings. Not too bad, but it did drift a little bit, and then we got this first set of kind of turns the chicane here, and not doing so hot. A little wide, but no damage yet. And then this turn, do lose the car, but recovered and again made it through. A little clip there on the guardrail, but still drivable. Big clip there in the end into the wall. That would have been a drive ender. And time-wise, we're in the 250s. So then the 599 Evo. This is again a competition car. First turn, we already tell that braking is pretty good, handling is good, the car is low, no swaying momentum, no surging front to back. It feels pretty solid. And then we're to start this spiral, kind of downhill. We see the sway side to side, see if we lose the rear through here. A little bit there. Again, it seems to be when we're accelerating. It just doesn't like any kind of motion at all when we're accelerating. Again, I think we could fix that with the setup. Stiffen it a little bit and keep the momentum from surging, but I don't know. It's well, we might have been able to prevent that. All out through here though, no problems. This will be the real test of braking and how tight we can keep it. Yeah, it's really can slow the car down quickly and make it through there. That might have been the tightest turn we've had yet. Last turn here. And we're going to finish off the series with a 237, 238, 239. So the winner, I think, what I would pick is the best performing would be the FXXK. Probably performed the best. The most enjoyable and probably the all-time favorite is the 48 GT3. Definitely a favorite of mine to drive. Again, race that in the HP Ferrari Esports series. So we'll probably do some more of these in the future with other cars, BMW, Audi, Lamborghini. We'll see. But thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for more. Drive safe.